This is the HAPPYRUN HR-G50 Electric Bike, and if you're looking for a bold, stylish electric ride that can tackle city streets and rough off-road trails, this is absolutely worth your attention. Let me tell you, having it right in front of me, it looks even more impressive than I expected from the pictures online. The HR-G50 has a retro motorcycle-inspired frame with chunky, 20-inch fat tires and a solid, beefy build that makes you feel secure the moment you hop on. The bike really stands out. People actually stop and look when you ride past them. I'll share everything you need to know about my experience and my honest thoughts after weeks of trying it out. So, why did I choose this one? At first, I was hesitant. I've ridden a few e-bikes before, so I know the basics. These bikes use an electric motor to help you pedal, making rides smoother and less tiring, which comes in handy, especially if you're like me and don't always feel like showing up to work red-faced and sweaty. The HR-G50 immediately caught my eye because of that cool motorcycle look and the promise of a powerful ride. But at the same time, I had reservations about the weight, the size, and how practical it would be for daily use. I wondered if it would be easy to assemble, if it'd be comfortable, and if the battery range was actually as good as advertised. From my experience, the assembly wasn't too bad, but I'll admit, it can be a little bit intimidating if you're new to e-bikes. The bike comes 90% pre-assembled, and you basically need to attach the front wheel, the handlebars, and the pedals. For me, that process took around 30 minutes. The instructions could have been a bit clearer, especially for total beginners, but once you get over that hurdle, the rest is smooth sailing. Let's talk about the key features, because the specs matter if you plan on using an e-bike for your daily commute or weekend adventures. This bike runs on a 750-watt brushless motor that actually peaks at 1500 watts. That's a lot of power, and boy, you can feel it as soon as you twist the throttle. The acceleration is fast and pretty thrilling, and when you hit a steep hill, you notice how the motor kicks in with zero hesitation. That's one thing I love about it. Most electric bikes I've tried struggle a bit on hills, or they slow down if you're carrying extra weight. But the HR-G50 just keeps going. What's really cool, in my opinion, is it gives you 3 riding modes. There's pure electric, which means you literally don't have to pedal. Just use the throttle and the motor does the work for you. Perfect if you're tired or want to rest your legs. Then there's pedal assist, which is a combo of your pedaling and the motor's help, giving you a more natural ride while still saving energy. Pedal assist also lets you go further on one charge. Of course, you can also turn off the motor and ride it as a regular bike. But with a bike this heavy, trust me, you'll want that electric help on longer rides. The battery is another feature I want to mention. The HR-G50 comes with a 48-volt 18-amp-hour battery, which might sound like a lot of numbers, but here's what's important. On pedal assist, I was able to get over 60 miles on a single charge. If you stick with pure throttle mode, the range is a bit shorter, but still plenty for regular rides. Charging takes around 5 to 6 hours, so I typically plug it in overnight or while I'm at work. I love that the battery is removable, which means you can take it off and charge it wherever it's convenient. Those fat tires are game changers. I mean, they're huge. At 4 inches wide, they make a huge difference for stability and comfort, especially if you ride on rough roads, gravel, sand, or even snow. They seem to absorb bumps and potholes way better than my regular commuter bike. On top of that, the HR-G50 has dual suspension, not just on the front fork, but also a shock absorber under the seat. If you ride on rocky or uneven surfaces, you'll really appreciate how smooth it feels. It honestly takes a lot of the fatigue out of long rides, and I find myself wanting to go for longer trips on weekends just because it's so comfortable now. The digital display on the handlebars is easy to read and tells you your speed, battery level, distance, and mode. That's really helpful if you want to keep an eye on your stats or plan your trip. I also appreciate the bright LED lights, not just a headlight for riding at night, but also taillights and working turn signals. This is a huge plus for safety, especially if you're riding after dark or in busy areas. The alarm system and optional GPS tracking are handy features as well, giving you a bit of peace of mind if you have to lock it up outside. Now, I have to be honest, there are a few things I wish were better. The HR-G50 is heavy, around 95 pounds, which means it's not easy to carry if you need to bring it upstairs or if the battery dies mid-ride. It can be awkward getting it into a small apartment or loading it onto a car rack by yourself. So if portability is your top priority, this might not be the best choice. The seat is a little hard for my liking. It's padded, but after a couple of hours, I felt some discomfort, so consider swapping it out if you're planning all-day rides. The brakes are mechanical disc brakes, effective and strong, but when the bike arrived, I needed to tweak and adjust them to get the stopping power just right. I wish the instructions went into more detail about this for folks unfamiliar with bike maintenance, but luckily, there are a bunch of tutorials online that can help. Something else I noticed is, because this bike is pretty unique, some local shops seemed hesitant to do repairs. I haven't needed any serious repairs yet, but if you're not into DIY fixes, make sure you have a place nearby that's willing to work on e-bikes. On the bright side, the bike comes with a 1-year warranty, and I was pleasantly surprised with how responsive the customer service was when I had a quick question about tire pressure. Personally, I think this bike hits a sweet spot for price and performance. You're getting a ton of power, really long battery life, tough construction, and a show-stopping design for well under $2,000. You'd be hard-pressed to find something similar with these specs and looks in this price range. It's perfect for anyone who wants an alternative to a car for short commutes, or if you're looking to make your errands or weekend rides a bit more fun and adventurous. In conclusion, from my experience, the HAPPYRUN HR-G50 electric bike really delivers on its promise of combining power, style, and utility. I ride it almost every day, whether it's to run errands, commute to work, or just get outside. If you're considering getting an e-bike and value power and versatility, I'd recommend this for sure. Just be ready for some extra weight, and check out the seat comfort if you're sensitive to that. To learn more about the HAPPYRUN HR-G50 electric bike, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.